Hello everyone and welcome to a game that was played 3 days ago. I believe it was played in a Blitz Banter session on chess 24 between Magnus Carlsen and this gentleman here, a random guy of the streets of Oslo, as chess 24 tweeted. Here's a still image from the game. There you have it, Maxi Bogues versus me upstairs. And these are the two gentlemen. If you know who the person on the right is, feel free to share in the comment section, as I wasn't able to find out. Yeah, that being said, let's check out the game. And I also wanted to say, for those of you who don't know what hand and brain is, hand and brain chess is when the gentleman to the right of Carlsen, he names a piece, for example a pawn, and then Carlsen has to make a move with the pawn. And then if he wants to move the knight, he says knight, and then Carlsen has to decide which move with the knight goes. Let's check it out. They opened with the white pieces, so e4, I played c6, the Caro-Kann, which is already peculiar as I never play Caro-Kann, but I'm gonna return to that. With d3, I played d5, knight to f3, and the knight to d7, the Breyer variation of the Caro-Kann. Knight to c3, attacking my pawn here, and already I give a pawn here by playing g6. It's not that I wanted to sacrifice the pawn for rapid development. I just didn't register that it was actually hanging. But okay, they captured, e captures on d5, I played bishop to g7, I developed a piece, they played captures, I played captures, and I'm already down a pawn. But okay, I mean, it's only a pawn. Bishop to e2, knight g to f6, I prepare castling, with bishop to e3, and I castle kingside. They also castle kingside, and I played e5, grabbing more space in the center. I want to play knight to h5 to f4, and I want to get my knight over to f4. This would free my dark square bishop, and also maybe even force them to give up one of their bishops. With h3, taking away the g4 square from my pieces, and I continue with my plan, knight to h5. Now the bishop is nicely freed. Maybe I can play f5 at some point. I want to get the knight to f4, like we said. Of course, they also get a move in, so d4. And it's a very nice move. You want to get rid of your d3 pawn, you want to free your light square bishop, and here I should just continue with my plan, knight to f4, and then it's you know, for a blitz game it could be a playable position if something like this happens. For example, I could capture the light square bishop with check, let's say knight captures here, and the game continues. But here I played another pawn sacrifice, which is not a pawn sacrifice, and I don't really have a good explanation of why I played this. I played e4. Now, it's really a strange move, as it does absolutely nothing. It just gives up a pawn. So even capturing here was better than playing something like this. But okay, I will return to this. They played, of course, knight captures on e4. It's a free pawn. Here I already was very sad. I was down 2 pawns, and I didn't really have anything to show for it, so I just continued f5. Bishop to c4 check, which of course makes sense. You want to go knight g5 to f7. I played king to h8, and now knight e to g5. The idea is knight to f7. With check, they want to, of course, win the rook. Here I played f4, hoping for knight to f7, but of course they will not play that. Knight to e6 was also playable, but first they decided to retreat with the bishop to d2, and now I played queen to f6, simply guarding the f7 square twice, and here's where the party is getting started. Of course, I knew what was coming here. Bishop to c3. You, of course, want your bishop on this very nice diagonal, and there's not much to do about it. There's no way to close it. I played knight to b6, hoping to get my knight over to d5, but of course, they decided not to give me this opportunity. d5 was played, opening up the bishop's attack here. And now there really aren't all that many good squares for my queen. I even thought about giving up my queen for the bishop pair here, but there's really no point, as after captures, and this, it's not just the bishop pair, but I'm also down 3 pawns due to the 2 pawns I just lost in the opening. So I played queen to e7, but here they just continued very, very strong. d6 now, attacking the queen once again. I push the queen back, queen to e8, constantly trying to keep an eye on the f7 square, but it's not possible. Rook e1, attacking the queen even more, queen to d8, and now knight to e5. And here, knight to f7 is coming. There's no way to stop that, and this is basically game over. If I go queen e8, for example, to avoid it, I still get knight e2 f7, opening up a discovery. To the queen, the knight is nicely protected, and here I either just move the king and go into some windmill action, but the queen is lost either way. Or even if I play queen to f6, doesn't really matter, still knight e2 f7 check now opens up the bishop's attack towards the queen, and also either I go into some nice windmill action, or I just give up the queen and it's game over. So here I decided to be a gentleman, and I decided to go down with queen captures on g5, and this allows pretty much the same idea, but it goes into mate. So of course you all see it, I don't even have to show it to you, but knight to f7 check, which loses the queen, as if I capture it's checkmate. I decided to go for the for the easier line. I played rook captures on f7, and they played rook to e8 check, rook to f8, and now of course rook captures on f8, and this is now mate, as the bishop is pinned. You cannot recapture. So that's it. 23 moves, and I just wanted to shed some light on why I played the way I did. The reason is I saw the Blitz Banter session was starting, and I challenged like everyone else. I didn't really think this is like the fourth time I tried to get a game in, and at some point my sister came for coffee, and we were having coffee, but I wasn't sitting at my computer. I just had the volume on so I can hear if the game actually starts. And the game actually started. I ran to the computer, and I wanted to make a move as soon as possible, so they don't abort the game as if I wasn't at the computer. That's why I played c6. That's why I played the Caro-Kann, even though I never played the Caro-Kann, which was, I played it and I was like, what did I just play? And this all, I mean, and one other thing, I didn't know I was playing against Magnus and his friend in a hand and brain session. I thought it was Magnus alone, because when I left the computer, Magnus was still playing by himself. So here I was just, I played c6, what am I doing? And then this just all came very quickly, knight f3, knight d7, and here, like I said, knight c3, g7, g6, just giving up a pawn, and you know, it all went downhill from there. Then I on my second monitor I managed to set up the stream so I can also watch the stream while I play, and then I realized I was actually playing against the hand and brain, but it was just too late. By that time, I tried to make some moves, but after that e4 move, which I simply can't explain, even now trying to find some logic behind it, I failed to find the logic behind it. But I don't know, it just happened. So it's not the greatest of games, but as a lot of you wanted to see it, I think a lot of you thought actually it was a game against Magnus himself, so that's why I wanted to see it. But here it is, just so you know, it's a game against Magnus and his buddy here in a hand and brain session. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So like I said, I tried to do something, get back into the game, cover that f7 square, but it was you know, it wasn't actually Magnus who decided which piece moves when. It was his friend, but the position was so bad that there was just no going back. And I don't know. I thought about, first I thought about showing it, but then I had this eye situation and I didn't record any videos for 2 days, and then as you guys were requesting it for so much, I decided to show it, as it is quite a, you know, a funny game, to put it lightly. And it's not that I mind losing. Anyone who knows me will tell you the same thing. I've never had a problem with losing, or even making you know, a fool of myself, as it's all in good promotion of chess. So I of course don't mind. And even if I didn't blunder any pawns, you know, it's hard to say that the result would be different than it was here. But yeah, I'll still keep on challenging him. Maybe I will get another game, and then hopefully I will not get so excited and start blundering pawns all over the place. But yeah, that's the game. I do hope you enjoyed it. I can tell you I did not enjoy it. And yeah, for those of you who missed the Capablanca video, the final game of the Capablanca saga, the shades are not for, you know, for fashion purposes. I actually have an eye condition on my right eye. I've been to the doctor today, and I received an ointment for it, but she said it will take few days before it heals, and up until then I will have to record using sunglasses, not to distract you from all the wonderful chess. Not wonderful chess like this here, but other wonderful chess. For example, tomorrow the World Cup is starting, so we're gonna enjoy that. But yeah, like I said, you requested it, so there it is. I do hope you enjoyed it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. I would like to thank Doug McNabb, Law Office John Butler, Donald Pettengill, Amarjit Sodi, and Jeff Seeley for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot, I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon. Not continuing the Capablanca saga, we're done with that. I still have to do the conclusion video, but I will do that after my eye heals. I don't feel like doing it with shades. It's too important of a video. Checking up on your wonderful suggestions, such as this one, and as of tomorrow we are starting off the World Cup. So thank you all, I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.